What's up, you guys over there? How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing great behind the screen. As always, I am here yet again back with you with another special guest. We're doing a brand today, an unboxing brand that I've never touched on before, and that is Marvel Legends. So in this case, we have our bad boy, Logan today. This is the X-Men series. I think it's the Marvel Legends by Hasbro. Like I said, it's a brand I've never touched on before, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys and see what the whole thing is all about today. So I got this bad boy on Christmas, and as you can see, they did a number on me by slamming the sticker on, but which is fine. You know, I tried to remove it, but it was gonna be a total mess. So I just didn't want to ruin the box. So I'll just leave it as it is. It's okay. You cannot always win in life, so it's okay. Other than that, I have my little blade over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop this guy open for you guys. Okay, so it's a very simple tape that he had over here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open the lid and see what we're dealing with today. Again, this is a brand new brand that I've never done before. So I'm really excited to see what the whole buzz is about. As you can see, it's a beautiful day out here. You might hear, some of my dogs bark, so apologies in advance, but I promise you I'll make the video just as good and to the best of my ability. So we have our bad boy Logan right here, which I'm about to pull out right of his box like a sarcophagus. All right, and this is what we have. So we have the main figure right here, along with a set of claws, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 swappable hands. And what it appears to be only one set face. So it's only one face that we're given, right? I'm gonna go ahead and look into the box. Okay. Nothing, just instructions, and that's about it. So that's what we have. So let's see what we have right here. So unlike SH Figure Arts, okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. So again, this is a brand new brand for me that I cover. So this is a very different thing than SH Figure Arts from what I'm seeing. It doesn't have the second lid on top, which covers the figure. It comes right, like super exposed, which is fine because this thing protects it by itself. However, the swappable hands do come covered with tape. So I'm glad I have this little guy right here right next to my side to help me with that. So let's go ahead and pull out our Wolverine. And it's a little bit rough and tight. Okay, so we have him. We have our boy right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn him into the camera for all of you guys to see right here. So we have our Logan guy right here. Okay, very, very solid figure. As you can see, he's a very short guy, much like in the comics. He's not very tall like Hugh Jackman. He is a short character. Anywho, we have our character right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn him around so you can see what the whole thing is all about. This guy basically has the classic metallic collar on his claws, and then we also have like some yellow stripes and the little X-Men logo right here, and then a whole black suit. So they did a really nice paint job with the figure. It doesn't reflect a lot of light, even though it's, as you can see, broad daylight. It's not very shiny. It's very, very light absorbent color of a paint job they did. So that's really cool. So we have a very expressive face right here. Talking about faces, as far as this brand goes, Marvel Legends, something I've noticed when it comes to these figures is that, as all of you know, whenever you acquire a figure, like for example, say any Dragon Ball figure on eBay, there are custom head sculpts that third-party sellers sell, and they can be a little bit pricey and expensive. However, they are not as expensive as the figure itself. What I've seen in Marvel Legends figures is that there's a lot of great talented sculptors out there that do custom head sculpts for each figure and each character. I've seen one for Sabretooth, which is absolutely beautiful and savage. And surprisingly, even though these figures are not of the same quality as SH Figure Arts, the head sculpts just give him a whole different vibe. And some of those head sculpts turn out to be even more expensive than the figure itself. So that's something. It's just something really interesting. It's just a tiny twist, like a custom head sculpt can give the figure a whole different look. So again, going back to our figure right here, I have our boy Logan. So we have the paint job, really nice, really solid. Now I want to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty when it comes to articulations, movement, and stuff like that, starting with the head. So we have the head right here, and let's see what the movement looks like. So up and down, okay, side to side. Oh, it's actually very smooth. Okay, so it's really not bad. No issues thus far with the neck articulation. Very, very solid. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I really like the neck mechanics right here. Now, for shoulders, let's go ahead and see what this bad boy can do. Okay, they retract, they go forward, back to the front. There's not a whole lot of shrug in motion into the traps, which is fine, but let's see how the shoulders behave. Okay, so we have a very decent amount of elevation right here in the shoulders. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see arm elevation. Okay, up, 360. Perfect. Okay. Oh, the box. And then we have the other arm right here. What a massive bicep we have here. Look at that bicep detail. All the muscles are right here in that biceps. And we can also see that it has a lot of body hair right here. Don't look at me, please. Don't judge, because I know I have my own. But this guy, has a really beautiful paint job. Because it's not really like a paint job. It is. There's texture to this body hair right here on his on the side of his arm, so it's really neat. So anyways, going back to the biceps, it does turn 360, perfect, super smooth. All right, it has a really nice elbow extension and flexion. Yes, as you can see right here, really nice. Okay, now going into his wrist, we have a hand that does turn 360 degrees. Okay, and we have the claws right here as well. Okay, so for the arms, really neat, really cool. For those of you who own the Silver Surfer, this guy has a very similar build to the Silver Surfer from Marvel Legends. So you can see right here the ab structure. It has like a little cut right here across on the abs. So it does go forward and back, forward and back. Ooh, it even has a nice extension to the back. It can retract his torso to the back a lot more than I thought. So that's cool. Okay, perfect. So we have this. Once again, boom, boom. Now, we also have Logan's or Wolverine's utility belt right here, like Batman. That's something about that's something I really like about Logan. He also has a utility belt. I don't know. I've never known what he keeps there. Maybe his cigars. I don't know. We've never known what's in Logan's utility belt. I don't know. But regardless, I think it's a really nice accessory that it comes with. And a nice feature to the classic Logan outfit, whether it be the classic or something more like this. He always comes with the utility belt, and it's just like a little bit of just a strap. It's not really too loose, but it's not really too tight. As you can see, it does move just a little bit, so I liked it. It's really smooth. Now let's go ahead and see how he turns to the sides. Oh my gosh. Look, let's go ahead and go 360. It did go 360. How about that? So the figure does go 360 degrees on the arm axis, the biceps that is, as you can see. The head, I don't think so. How about that? I proved myself wrong. Perfect. Okay, it does go 360. So the head, the biceps, the torso, 360 so far. Okay, sweet. Now, we can see Wolverine's back right here, very massive. As for the front, you can see a lot of ab detail right here. The pectoral muscles, all of it is super cool. Now going back to the back, we have a really nice tight build on the back of his legs as much as in the front. We have like a cargo utility pants right here. You're really cool. Some straps across his calves. Now, I am really interested in seeing how this guy moves with the legs. So let's go ahead and try to pull the legs out and see if it can split. The guy can almost split. He's been learning from Van Damme. Okay, so that's cool. So the guy can really extend his legs out to the side, as you can see. So, okay, pause. So this figure is really cool in the way that, again, this is my first ever Marvel Legends figure to ever unbox. I was not expecting the quality to be this high, but my God, I am wrong. And have I been wrong? This guy is very solid, by the way. It has a lot of decent weight to it. It doesn't have the same build or articulation mechanics that SH Figure Arts and other like Mess Toys, you know, it doesn't have the same articulation mechanics that they have, but nonetheless, it is great for action poses. It is super good. So we have the splits right here. Now let's go ahead and see how far out the leg goes. Okay, sorry, the video cut out, but I'm back. So we were talking about legs. So the legs go out a little bit to the front in a, you know, really decent angle. Okay, so going back and try and see how far out they go. Okay, so this is where we run into the first issue. So they don't go in a straight line to the back. They twist a little bit out to the side. So as you can see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and do it from your guys' angle, point of view, so you can see what I'm talking about. You see how the leg goes out to the side whenever I try and kick back? So that's, you know, it's just something that the figure comes with. You know, it's not SH Figure Art, so it's okay. Not really a big complaint or anything, but that's what the legs behave like when you try and pull the leg to the back. So there's that. And then we also have a little cut right here across the thighs, which makes me wonder if this is gonna allow the thigh to turn. Yes, and just in case you're wondering, 360 as well. Perfect, a lot of 360 degrees going on here, over here. Perfect, okay, I liked it. Perfect, okay, cool. Now for the knee, we're gonna have, oh, perfect, okay, cool. I thought it stopped at some point, but no. So it does have a very nice range of motion. Just when you think the knee flexion is done with, it does flex just a bit more, right there. So that's a really nice and decent range of motion that we have right there for Logan's knees. Okay, there you go. You just need to pull down a little bit more and force the joint to come loose because it's been in his sarcophagus for God knows how long. But you know, we're giving him some exercise right here, some warm-ups. So very good knee extension and flexion. Now for the ankles, the feet, let's see what we got. I don't see any lines across the shin. I only see the foot. Let's see. No, there's nothing going on right here on the ankle that will make the feet go left and right. As for the feet, okay, so we do have an up and down motion right here of the feet. It doesn't have the little bend right here that all SH Figure Arts come with, and many other third-party figures. So the toes don't go up or down. It's just a stagnant foot, up and down. If you want to try and move it around to the side, you can, but about this much. And it comes right back to its original position. So as you can see, there's really not much action going on in the feet. It's just up and down. That's it. But there is a really nice extension of the foot and the toes. Flexion and extension is really not bad. It does have possibly more range of motion than SH Figure Arts going forward and backward, but we are cut short when it comes to the feet moving side to side. You know, so not a big deal by any means. So we got into the details about the mechanics, paint job, everything. Now I want to go ahead and see how the mechanics for swapping hands works. So I have the hands right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just take this tape off. Okay. All right. Let's see how this thing works. I'll show you guys what it comes with in just a little bit. I'm gonna do the other side of the tape. Okay. All right, sweet. So we're gonna have a few things going on here. So we have a couple of clenched fists right here, no claws, okay? But it does come with a little bit of an extension to insert into the waist, the stump. So up and down only. As you can see, there's no side to side. It's only up and down, or you know, back and forth. A little joint right here. So it's a very simple joint mechanic, okay? And then we have a open palm, okay? Actually, a very nice detail into the globe. There's a lot of texture to it. So there's like a lot of, you know, fabric texture kind of thing going on. Same articulation mechanic, just back and forward. That's all we have. Back and forward. Okay, so open fist, open palm, couple of clenched fists, and then we have a pointy finger pointing right at you. You see that? This is what we have right here. Also a very nice texture. Right here you can see a lot of the texture when he clenches his fist right around this area. A lot of cool texture. Okay, so we have the pointy finger right here, and you know, same thing, back and forward. Okay, that's all we have. All right, let's go ahead and mess around with the hands just a little bit. So I'm gonna be really careful because I do not know how this figure will respond to the removal of hands. Quite smooth. So there's that. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this off as well. That was really easy. Okay, I really like that. Very, very smooth. So let's just go ahead and insert it. How about that? Super smooth. I never would have expected this figure to have such a smooth, swappable hand mechanic. So I really like that. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and put on a fist. Okay, and as we can see, we don't have a very happy Logan right here. So, okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And like I said, the hands only work in this fashion. Back and forth, up and down. There is no side to side, so that's pretty much all we're gonna get. You see how this palm goes back and then to the front? So that's pretty much what this figure does. It does rotate, of course, 360 like every other figure out there. So there's not really a whole lot of tilting on the wrist axis, left and right. So there's no such thing. I mean, you can kind of do that, but it's like the loose gaps inside of the plastic here, the micro gaps. So there's not really a whole lot of wide movement that you can do by waving the palm side to side. It's just forward and backward. That's it. So yeah. So my thoughts on this figure. Again, I don't want to give like an overall broad review on Marvel Legends just based off of this figure, because again, this is my first Marvel Legends figure. My thoughts on it. So first and foremost, I love the paint job. It is absolutely good, very, very solid. I've been messing with this figure for a little bit, and as far as I can tell, there's really no risk of this figure being scratched at all. The paint job is very, very solid. I wonder if this is actually black plastic. I really do wonder it, because it's so solid and black. Nothing, not a single scratch, you know, is visible, nothing. So the paint job is very, very solid. The matte to it is very, very good, to where it doesn't flash the light back at your eyes. So it's really, really good. I really like the texture that they gave Logan right here on his arms, his biceps, with the body hair, the arm hair. He does have a very nice texture on his hair. The beard, the teeth, the eyes. It's such a shame that it only came with one facial expression. But again, it is not a big deal, because remember what I told you earlier? One thing in particular about Marvel Legends is that there are so many sculptors out there, 3D third-party head sculptures out there, that you can do your due diligence, do your homework, browse around, and find out the exact fit for a head sculpt for this exact same body, and your figure will completely change how it looks like. The most clear example I can think of is Marvel Legends Sabretooth. If you guys been around and if you guys have seen the head sculpts that all these people do for Sabretooth, you'll know how much brutal a figure can look. Absolutely incredible. Not to say that this face isn't good. It's absolutely beautiful too. But going back to the whole mechanic thing, it is not, I'm not gonna say anything like, oh, it's not anywhere near SH Figure Arts in terms of joints. I mean, it's not up to that standard, but it is very decent. It has a lot of flexibility. The joints are super stiff and solid. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of people have been having issues with some SH figure arts recently. Um, and by that I mean arms come off really easily, the legs come off. I've had that. I'm gonna complain again about this one more time. The Cell Games Goku, that figure is absolutely beautiful, but it just falls apart all the time. I have to be really careful how I handle it because the leg comes off, the arm falls off. It's super frustrating. But that is not the case with this Logan. It is absolutely beautiful, and it does feel like it is actually made of adamantium, so like it's cloth. So this figure is very solid. It is very solid. Like I said, I don't have any complaints as far as mechanics. It does lack on flexibility, as you can see on the ankle of the foot. You know, when you compare it to SH Figure Arts or Mesh Toys, you know, it doesn't have that. But it's okay. It's not really a big deal because this guy is not falling apart anytime soon. So you have one thing for another. That's what I'm gonna say. It's not really like you have the perfect figure every single time. This guy is absolutely beautiful. I also really like the hand swapping mechanic. It wasn't really that hard to take off, and it wasn't that hard to put a new hand on. It's very smooth, but at the same time, it's very solid. As you can see, it's not really. Okay, I got it. So it's very cool to see that a figure has this amount of tightness on the swappable parts, as opposed to others where either you risk breaking the you know, the little this little part, or the whole arm comes off because it's too tight. None of that's a problem, but I would much rather have that problem than having this breaking. You know, so this guy this guy doesn't have that problem at all. It's really smooth, really cool, very solid. Again, I love the paint job. I love the suit. I really think this figure is very solid in its own right. I don't believe this figure is by any means like how to say, like, not worth having for your collection. I think it's an absolutely beautiful figure. Again, I got this for Christmas, and I'm barely unboxing this boy right now. And I'm very glad I did, because again, this is my first ever Marvel Legends figure, and it just happened to be one of my favorite superheroes, or I should say anti-heroes of all time, which is Wolverine. To those of you who are also Wolverine fans, I might have a surprise for you later on, but not today, but I promise you something else is coming. Anywho, going back to the figure, it is absolutely incredible. I really liked it. I am not fond of telling you that, you know, these are not toys, you know, but in this case, if you happen to drop this figure, or if you know, if one of you little kids happen to be messing around with it and tossing it or dropping it, it's not gonna fall. It doesn't have the same kind of well, you shouldn't be too worried with this figure breaking on like an SH Figure Arts, you know, because those tend to be more fragile. They don't really withstand that much roughness, I should say. But again, this guy, like I said, feels like it's made of adamantium, so you shouldn't be having an issue with this guy at all whatsoever. It is a very solid figure, and I'm very happy to add this guy to my collection. That being said, thank you all of you guys so much for being here today, and I hope to see you on the next video.